All right, I think we'll get started now. Thank you all for coming and welcome to the financial wellness presentation on salary negotiation. My name is Alyssa and I'm a peer financial coach here at the University of Oregon. And with me, I have Megan Weineman, who's also a peer financial coach at the University of Oregon. We've been here a little over a year and we're super excited to share this presentation with you all. So, a little bit about our mission and what we do. We are here on campus to financially empower students with the knowledge needed to make sound financial decisions during and after college. Megan, you want to take it away on the big five here?
Of course. So what we focus on in the 5 critical areas of holistic financial wellness to us are earning, spending, borrowing, protecting, saving, and investing. So as you can tell for this, we're talking about a bunch of different aspects of these big 5s, but if you ever come and talk to a one-on-one peer financial coach, or you want a workshop for your club or organization, these are definitely the key areas that we're going to hone in on and help y'all out. And then for how we reach students, I already mentioned our one-on-one peer financial coaching. So you can come hop on Zoom with me and or Alyssa or a number of our other peer financial coaches, and we can talk to you about any of those big 5 holistic financial wellness topics that we talked about. And we're also doing on-demand financial education workshops to student groups and organizations. So if you have a club or organization that you think would benefit from a specific topic on financial wellness, we'd love to host a workshop for you, as well as doing these workshops that anyone can come to. And we're also really excited about building partnerships across campus and just enriching students with these awesome financial wellness opportunities.
So, an overview of the workshop we have planned today, we're looking at negotiation defined. We're going to try and give an employer perspective, some tips for before negotiating, and then kind of what your expected salary is to be. And then also we're going to look at the idea of the total compensation package. So just some quick facts on this. 8 out of 10 companies are willing to negotiate salary, but only 3 out of 10 job candidates ever try. So companies are willing to negotiate with you. This is definitely something that can be done. And we're just here to give you some quick tips and tricks on how to do this. So yeah, we'll get started with negotiation defined. Megan, if you want to take over the next slide.
Yeah, I think what's really important for us to all understand is once you get that job offer, you're kind of waiting and wondering what's next. So you can either accept the offer and you're so happy and ready to work because you're all about the compensation and you're all about the amount of money that you're getting. And on the other hand, you could also accept the offer and just kind of automatically be very unhappy or disgruntled. This would obviously not be ideal, and that's why I feel like this workshop is really important too, because we can work to change that into accepting your offer and feeling super happy and ready to work. And of course, the other option is to reject your offer and pursue other opportunities, but that might be another great opportunity to negotiate. So that's why this just baseline knowledge of negotiation and understanding your worth and what you can give to your company is so important, because it could help you, feel good about accepting your offer, being super happy and ready to crush it at work in your first day.
All right, so we're going to look at the 4 points of negotiation. Part 1, seek to understand, know and understand the person at the other side of the table. Like all things, it's important to know your audience and who you're talking to. Second, know your value. You need to be able to articulate the value that you bring to the company based on its needs, and tailoring what you have to offer to what they need. And then before and during the interview, you need to do your research, know who the company is, what they value, what they tend to offer in their job packages. And then during the interview, it's important to practice attentive listening and hear what they're offering and what's important to the culture of that community. And then lastly, don't miss an opportunity. Like we mentioned, the company must believe that they can get you, and playing hard to get may cause you to lose an opportunity. So be open, know your value, and make it a point to try and negotiate, because you want to seem interested as well. And a lot of companies will negotiate. So don't limit yourself. There's always room for another opportunity.
So we mentioned we're going to talk a bit about the employer perspective as well. I think it's really important to understand where this employer might be coming from when they're giving you their initial offer and throughout your negotiation talks and considerations. So they are operating on a budget. Like every organization, they have a specific amount of money set designated to certain positions. So you want to know if they want to know if you're of value, if you can squeeze some more into that budget, expand it a bit. So what they want to know and what equates to your value is definitely your education, your skill sets, and your career achievements. They're really looking for those things when you're negotiating to be able to make a switch or make some changes in their initial offer. They want to know if you're at the right professional level as well. So you can really show that and show more than they're expecting. That might give you some great return. And they also need to justify salary increases internally. So if they're reporting to their finance department, they're going to have to give them a reason why they need to expand their budget or why you deserve this better offer. So knowing that that's where they're coming from and knowing that it could be somewhat of a tough conversation on both ends is super important when you're diving into negotiation.
So, in order to have an open conversation with them, it's really important that you do your due diligence. Who are they? What's the company's interest? What are their concerns in that industry? What are their challenges? And then what value will you bring to all of those questions? Never interview with a company without first exhausting all sources of information. A lot of this information is on LinkedIn. If you're not on LinkedIn, definitely get to know that platform. It's important to look at people who have interviewed or worked there, hiring managers, recruiters, any contact listed for the position. It's great to email them any questions, introduce yourself and email any questions you have, but definitely go into any interview and any job offer with a exhaustive list of information, and that will really help you guide your negotiation process.
And I think it will also really help you help them gauge how interested you are or how willing you are to work for them. If you're super enthralled and know a lot about their organization, they might take that as a compliment and realize that you're really set on this job and super excited about the opportunity as well. So now we're going to dive into before discussing your compensation. This is 5 things to keep in mind. So even before you start mentioning how much you're going to get paid or what your benefits are looking like, these are things that you should be thinking about.
So determine what is important to you. Focus on the entire package and rate them. If they have a flexible work schedule, bonuses, vacation time, healthcare, stock options, retirement plans, relocation packages if they're willing to help compensate to move you to wherever their offices are located. And then professional development, looking at room to grow if they offer to pay for additional credentials or licensures, and if you're looking to go on vacation soon, or if you're maybe looking for healthcare, these are really important aspects of an offer that can help support maybe what the salary doesn't. So it's really important to look at all these and understand that these will also have a huge impact on determining your happiness at this company as well. If there's no vacation options or not a flexible work schedule, could be difficult in the future. Maybe content with where you're at. So definitely look at what you want and what you're looking for and what's important to you, and definitely rate that. And you can let them know like what you're looking for. If you're looking for a flexible work schedule, maybe they're a company who really balances work and life balance, and that would be really interesting, and they'd be happy to accommodate you. So just understanding what you want is really important.
And it's also important to know your industry and location. So doing research not only on the company, but where the job is offered and where it's going to be located. And also knowing how much do people within the industry get paid at all levels, entry, mid-level, executive level. So you can go to resources like this, like the UO Bureau of Labor Statistics, Indeed, and Glassdoor. And that can help you find some really specific information from people who either do work there now or used to work there, about what not only what they got paid, but different things about the organization that are really important to keep in mind before you're even considering talking about upgrading your compensation or asking for something more in your
Yes, and as I mentioned earlier, relocation can be a thing that you're considering when you're looking at future employers. So it's important to look at the cost of living in a city you will work. As we all know, San Francisco is probably a lot more expensive than living in Eugene, and Seattle's way more expensive than living in Salem. So it's important to look at the city that you're moving to or could possibly be moving to, using that information, once again, doing your research, doing your due diligence to understand how that cost of living is going to affect your salary and the possible expenses you may be facing. So you can definitely look at Glassdoor, pay scale, all of those resources have cost of living calculators. They can tell you like what the average price of like bread, gas, a doctor's office visit, and that can help you gauge on maybe the percentage of what your salary needs to increase, because your salary in Eugene probably is going to need to be less than your salary in San Francisco. So it's important to look at this and understand the unexpected costs that you might be facing when relocating for a job.
And next, it's just really important to know your value and how to justify it. So you don't undervalue or overprice yourself. So it's really important to know yourself before doing anything else. And I think anytime we're entering the professional world or going on to something bigger and better, it is really important to look back at ourselves and see what skills have we gained, what experience have we gained, and what can we really bring to this next job opportunity that's going to help increase our value to them. But it's also on the other side important to not overprice yourself and recognize that if your skills don't match the minimum requirements, maybe you're not in the best place to be asking for more in your compensation. Recognize that these values can be skills, experience, like I mentioned, but also education, problems you solve. It's really a good idea to maybe like make a list of great accomplishments and include those directly into your job application. And also if you're looking to negotiate, maybe in something that you bring to them as well. So I know it may seem silly, but writing a list of things that you're really great at or things you've accomplished can definitely help you in a situation like this where you're trying to show your value and really sell yourself.
Yes, and also just one thing to touch on really fast. The Career Center here at the University of Oregon is amazing at helping you understand your value, helping you make a list of great accomplishments, and picking out and like maybe noticing things that you wouldn't notice about yourself if you hadn't thought about it. So definitely, if you're looking to negotiate and understand what your value is and make sure that you're not undervaluing or overpricing yourself, definitely check out the Career Center because they're really great about that. And number 5, consider the value of the deal. As I kind of mentioned before, in that total compensation package, salary is not all it's cracked up to be. Being flexible on the currency that's being provided is important. Like I mentioned, vacation time, stock options, flex work hours, the city, maybe they're going to offer you a relocation package and pay you extra to come be relocated. And then maybe they have opportunities for professional development. Maybe they'll pay for you to get an extra licensure. So all those different aspects can also be really important, and it's important to be flexible.
So next we're going to go into what are your salary expectations and who wants to know. So I think definitely personally, like going into the more professional world, the concept of getting like paid yearly and having a really stable salary is still kind of hard for me to wrap my brain around how much money I will need and how much I deserve. So this is just understanding what your salary expectations are and conversations you might have throughout your interview process about what your recruiter or the HR person is asking you. What do you expect or what do you want from us?
So importantly, once again, know your audience, who's asking and when. If the HR person is chatting with you, questions asked within the first stages of interview can eliminate a candidate outside of salary offers. So you can say, when asked about your salary, just say, I'm not sure, but I'm sure that my salary will be within the industry standards. Once again, doing your research, understanding what those salary standards are. And then you can say, like, I'd love to learn more about the company before giving an exact amount. Be careful about giving a range right off the bat, because if you're saying, between 50 and 60, they're hearing 50 and you're probably thinking maybe 60. So I think it's just really important to say, like, I would think it'd be within the standards, but like, I'd love to hear more before getting an exact amount. And then when you're talking with the hiring manager, indicate what you have identified as value, those values, that list you've compiled, and then that's what sets you apart. So ask a lot of questions, be honest. If you want to be there, then show that you want to be there, but definitely pay attention to your audience and know that they're also like, even with COVID, like companies don't have unlimited money to spend on their employers. So just know who you're talking to and ask important questions.
Next, it's thinking about what your expected salary is. Alyssa just mentioned this, but just to reiterate, we're definitely going to avoid giving a specific amount or range right off the bat. To provide a salary when there is so many unknowns would not be in your best interest. And you don't know what you will be doing, the projects you will be involved in, the training, benefits, etc. So you may be setting your expectations too low or overpricing yourself. So like we mentioned, avoid setting a range. The recruiter will probably hear the lesser side of your range. And also just wait it out. After learning more about you, if they like you, the more they'll be willing to pay. So maybe not make the conversation right off the bat about your compensation and your possible salary, but really get to know the company and let them get to know you and your worth and your value. And hopefully then those conversations about salary can be really truthful and honest and help both the company and you really in the best way possible.
Now we're going to negotiate. Let's talk about this whole process. Once we've done the due diligence, we're interested in this company, they're interested in us. So there's 3 questions to ask. Why do you think you're worth more? What value will you add to the organization? And then can you quantify it, or do you just simply feel that you're worth more? It's really important to piece these questions apart and make it concrete.
So if it's not clear yet, research is so important in this entire negotiation process. So the first thing you want to do is this market analysis. You want to figure out how much do others in a similar role currently make, maybe not directly at the company that you're applying for, but in other companies in a similar area who have tasks or things that they have to do for your position. Also, like I mentioned, think geographically. How will the cost of living impact the offer? So even if you end up looking at roles from other areas, you can still do the cost of living in that area and compare it to where you are or where you're looking to apply. And that'll help give you a baseline of what to expect and what you should deserve as well. So we just can't reiterate enough that you really need to know your stuff before going into any negotiation talks, because they are probably going to know and they're looking to see how much you have researched and how much you know, and then hopefully give you the best offer necessary.
All right. So then once you've received an offer, and then so you can use your market analysis to prepare correspondence for a counter offer. It's important to provide a detailed breakdown of your market research and show that the current offer is below market value, or just show that you need to show that you can justify an increase. If the offer is consistent with market value, you must show that your knowledge, skills, and abilities, like concrete things, are of higher value than what is offered. So we have a quick example, run through this letter, look at specific aspects. So first, you see this letter is addressed to Sheila. It says, I'm genuinely appreciative and excited about this offer for the Director of Financial Wellness. So you don't want to come right out of the gate and say, like, I need more money. Like, you're super appreciative. If you really want to be there, then it's important to know that you do want to be there and you want to make this work. And as you can see here, it says, I've taken all factors into consideration, including my qualifications, and they'd like to pose a counter offer. And then, of course, right here, our next paragraph says, I've conducted some research to better assess the market for my skills as well as my fit for this position. You can see we have 4 different universities. So this is a position for a Director of Financial Wellness. We're looking at University of Pittsburgh, Virginia Tech, Virginia Commonwealth, and then Mercer. You can see here we have that cost of living, we have the average salary range, and you can see here it says the average for the salaries is $63,000. And showing this is like, I'm doing my research, I'm really passionate about this. You can just tell that they care about this position and have done their research. So it says they've also researched some other, aspects of this program, and talks about how their research and their position can really add value in what they bring to this organization. You can tell that they are showing their concrete skills and what their value is, what they bring to the program. And then you see over here on the second page, it says, I'm counter offering, requesting for the University of Tulsa to increase my compensation from 52 to 57.5. They're offering, like, this is what I have to offer, this is what I think I'm worth. And then You can see here they note that like they understand that they don't have unlimited money. So my hope is not to stretch the university thin from a budgetary standpoint, but to ensure that I can be financially stable in this position as they work to grow their financial wellness program. So you can see they leave it on a very positive note. It's not too demanding. It's showing that they like can demonstrate value and add something to this program. And then you can write sincerely in your name. So this is a great example of how to negotiate. It's respectful. They've clearly done their research. So if you're looking to negotiate, this is a great letterhead or a great example to.
As you're thinking about writing that letter or that email, or talking maybe on a Zoom or in person about what you're looking for, it's just, I feel like we said that a bunch, but just do your research as well. And these are just some of the organizations or the websites that we've mentioned throughout the presentation, and just to give you like a better insight into what they are. So we mentioned Glassdoor, which provides reviews from current and former employees, and they have information such as salaries and employee perceptions of the organization. And you can also apply for jobs on this site as well. And this is similar to Indeed, where they allow employees to anonymously post reviews, and it does have job postings as well. So these two are great resources to be looking at when you're thinking about what is your industry paying and what you should really be asking for.
Yeah, and then just once again, a lot of relocation resources. Maybe a lot of us are looking to get out of Eugene, explore someplace new. And if you're looking at relocating for a job, these are some really great resources. PayScale, NerdWallet, Bankrate. If you're looking to relocate, I highly recommend looking at these places and looking at the cost of living.
And we'd love to open it up to any questions or anything y'all have. You can send them in the chat or just unmute yourself.
I guess, is there like a comprehensive list of those resources that I could find somewhere?
Yeah, we could definitely make that happen. If you visit our website, I'm sure there's some information about it, and we'll give you the website in a bit. And also, if you visit the Career Center, I'm sure they could give the Career Center's website. They definitely have some resources as well.
I had another question. So you mentioned that your kind of worth is kind of associated with the education level. And I was wondering, like, how much would you expect an increase between a junior, like your internship, and the full-time offer post-grad?
That's a really good question. Definitely look at some of those resources. It kind of depends on the industry and what kind of the specific job title and descriptions and requirements are. It's kind of hard to give a specific range, if that makes sense, but definitely look on those resources for information about between like an internship, and you can even like on Indeed and Glassdoor, if you know the company, you can kind of see what other people are saying.
If you're like an inexperienced employee and you're getting like your first career position, and you want to show that you're like, you're good for the job, how can you show to them that you have a bright career ahead of you, or because you're inexperienced?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I know I've definitely like asked myself that too, but I think that's where you pull from your experience. If you're graduating from the University of Oregon and you haven't had a job, you've still probably had some opportunities in classes or in clubs and organizations to really strengthen hopefully your leadership skills or your more like tangible interpersonal skills, so communication and maybe even working in groups, teamwork. So I don't think you have to show directly a correlation between industry specific skills from a past experience to really show that you're committed and devoted to your new position and your future as well. So if you've ever had growth in the past, if you've done better one year to the next in any class or any club or organization that you've been to, growing in leadership positions, I think that would be really awesome to speak on too.
Yes, and as you can see, Gilbert put in the chat, transferable skills, you have them, and the Career Center can help you create a plan to communicate them. Definitely chat with the Career Center about maybe your specific situation, how to apply your life skills to whatever profession or job that you're applying for.
And then also, I think we mentioned before, but we just want to keep reiterating that you can come talk to us, peer financial coaches. Me and Alyssa, we'd love to have a Zoom chat with you about not only salary negotiation, but budgeting or credit or anything you want to talk about. So visit our website and make an appointment to talk one-on-one with a peer financial coach. And we obviously have appointments available for all of spring term. And this is our website where you can make an appointment, find out some more resources, as well as email us if you have any questions, and definitely follow us on our social medias, Twitter and Instagram, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want some awesome facts about financial wellness as well. We can't thank you all enough for joining us, and we hope you got something out of this presentation. Thanks for your time, and have